interaction, how they handle that?
I'm not sure how they are handling it, but that happens. He wants to go elsewhere. Like I said, we wish him the best, and we'll move on with who we have.
Syracuse, obviously a huge rivalry for you. What comes to mind? It's so special when Georgetown and Syracuse play each other, particularly at Carrier Dome.
I mean everything. Like I remember, when was the last time I played? 3 years ago. And that was people were billing as the last time, and everyone knew that wasn't true. It's Georgetown, Syracuse. We're going to play. But it's I've been fortunate that I've probably seen most of the Georgetown Syracuse games. At least since 1972. And it's just history. It's just memories. It's Marty Head and Roosevelt Bowie. They're having a ceremony for Pearl tomorrow. I'm not exactly sure, but you think of Pearl, and you go back. Obviously, Big Pat and Michael Jackson, Gene Smith. Like just all the players, all the games,
right.
Here, there, and in the Garden that have made Georgetown Syracuse special.
You coached against them, seen them all your life. You've seen that zone since like 94, 95 when they really started playing it exclusively. Are they still trying to figure it out in your estimation?
This year's team?
This year's team.
I don't know. I think that they played, see, with that zone, and everyone, and you've heard me say this, everyone says, oh, the Syracuse 2-3. But it changes for every team. It changes for every, if you look at their BU game, that zone of this year, the last game, the zone was much different in the second half and how they played than it was in the first half. And so, are they trying to figure out? I don't think so. I think they played a lot of different teams that try to attack it a different way, and so it looks different. But from my vantage point, it looked like they figured it out okay.
Are you shocked UConn was able to take them out of the game like they did with a simple pressure man defense? Discombobulated them and they ended up losing.
Yeah, that was a good game. But I thought UConn did a good job of going back and forth, man and zone. I mean, I forget.
First half, right?
First, I was going to say, I think they started off with a lot of zone, and then they just said, okay, let's guard them. But that's, like I said, it's in the Garden. Well, UConn was hyped. But they did do a great job of guarding them. When they said, let's just guard them, they guarded them well.
Do you think that the rivalry has kind of like lost its appeal among the players now that Syracuse is out of the Big East?
I don't think so. I don't think so. And maybe that's because it hasn't to me. But I mean, I think that they understand their history. They understand our history. They understand, that it's Georgetown, Syracuse. So, when you're playing them 2 or 3 or 4 times a year, is it different than once a year? Yeah, it is, but it's still Georgetown, Syracuse.
John, obviously a lot of players on the team haven't experienced what it's like in the Carrier Dome, that kind of environment. Is there anything you can do to get those players ready, or to tell them what's coming?
No.
What do you have? Yeah.
We've watched, and we'll next couple of days continue to watch tape.
Yeah.
We're going to get over there the night before and shoot around, but it won't be 30,000 people in there. But it's a unique monster. I mean, it's unlike any other space that they played in.
Saw Mosley have his best shooting performance against LaSalle in Miami. Something he's improved greatly, particularly since the Arkansas State game. How important is it for him to add that part to his game, and has he worked really hard at that?
I had to bring that up. I'll mess with you. It helps. I mean, he played very well down there, which is good. And Jagan can make shots. He missed shots that game, but he does a very good job, I think, of taking the shots he should take. And he's not one of these guys. Some guys, when they're not making shots, they start hunting shots. Look, I'm gonna get out of it. I'm gonna get out of it. He just lets the game come to him, from the offensive vantage point. But when it goes in, like it did down in Miami against LaSalle, that makes everything else easier as he is making things easier for everyone else.
Saw Pryor get in foul trouble for the first time, and was it almost sort of a blessing in disguise? You had to play a long stretch without him, and you guys did well. How important was it to?
I wouldn't call it a blessing in disguise.
Well, you won.
But we were able to, I mean, we have the personnel we can fight through. I think LJ Peak is playing at a really high level right now. in all aspects of the game. And that first half, LJ, I mean, that play he made to end the first half, where he blocks the shot down at one end, and he gets it and flies down the court and makes a tough layup. I think that, I don't want to say that epitomizes how he's playing, but that's one indication. He's playing at a high level right now. So Rodney gets in foul trouble. We just rolled LJ for the rest of the half, and then you get Rodney back, and he started off the second half like he's done a lot. Scored a couple quick baskets right in a row, and everything's okay. I think we did a good job. We're showing, we're improving. I think I've said it to you guys. You go through that first stretch, and then you go to Hawaii, and there's no time to practice. Because you play Maryland, you have a day, you play Arkansas State, you get up, crack it on the next morning, you go to Hawaii, you play over in Hawaii, and you have 3 games back to back to back. There's no time to improve. And so then, the last couple of weeks, we've had time to work on us as opposed to just preparing for the next game. And I think that showed in the LaSalle game, where, I forget the exact time frame, but 9 minutes, or 8 minutes, or 6 minutes, I forget exactly, it's a tie game. And I think our execution down the stretch, as we slowly just pulled away, was really good. And I think it was, just some of the things we had time to work on in practice, we have a chance to, it showed up. And so, I'm rambling, I forget what point I'm making. Did I answer your question?
Yeah.
Okay.
When we see multiple guys trigger against the zone, like you typically run that middle, 2-3 overload, but we see multiple guys catch it in there and make plays.
Yes. We will. I mean, down through the years, we've attacked it differently. And to be honest, what I said earlier, because they play it differently depending on our personnel. So different years, we've had to attack it different ways. And so we'll see. But yeah, there will be multiple people